actually in a state where I'm in a good state, and my body is calm and tranquil, which is really up for me to be calm and tranquil at the same time. It's usually one or the other. I never get all of them together.
Yeah. What do I? Okay, hey guys, we got Joe Grimm with us. We're gonna have an amazing show. Buckle up. Let's see.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. One second. I'm just gonna play the subscribe button. You guys just remember to subscribe. I don't know why it's playing that intro over and over again. It doesn't feel like it messes with me for sure. But just remember to subscribe on YouTube, on here, and follow Joe Grimm on Facebook, and on he's doing his own conference right now. So check that out, and he's going to talk about that tonight. But who I have with me is Joseph Grimm is of Sealic Quantum Coaching. He's a multidimensional healer, guide, and experiencer, bringing his deep toolkit of spiritual and metaphysical skills to tonight's show. Joe will be offering live readings for the audience and sharing behind-the-scenes look at spiritual coaching systems he's been developing. His diverse background includes quantum energy healer and recovery coach, spirit medium, seer, and remote viewer, channeler, Sigma, Heyoka, empath, and criminal profiler, abductee, experiencer, and cryptozoologist, Somatic, biorhythmic dancer, and Kundalini meditation practitioner, and motivational speaker and podcaster. And, if you want to reach Joe Grimm at Sealic Quantum Coaching, the number is 850-625-8467. And I can put that in the chat, and I'll put it up on the screen real quick before we start. That way, if people are interested in getting a private reading with Joe, or, you want to book a coaching session, you can, I'll put that right there. There's the number. It's 850-625-8467. And I'm going to put that up right here, right now, so you guys can see it on the screen. And there we go. Yeah. And with all that said, I'd like to give him a big warm welcome back to the show. Joe, thanks so much for coming back on, man. How are you, bro? Not bad. I've been planning my event called Grimm's Con. I made my own con because I've seen so many cons. I said, screw it, we're going to go Grimm's Con. And then I went reemergence, diving deeper within one shadow self. Reemergence has been a big word, and it's been thrown around a lot lately for the last year. Like after my divorce, as you know, I was there still in that toxic environment with my Aunt Linda. So I didn't get a chance to heal from the wounds of my divorce. I had the wounds of toxicity to deal with. Then once I left there, I still didn't. We get to pick. We don't get to pick and choose when we heal. The universe, or as I like to call them, mom and dad above, get to pick and choose. Here you get to heal on this little aspect. And it took me bouncing around, going to Billings. It took me going to Missoula, and I sat in a mission for 7 weeks. That's when mom and dad said, here you go, you have the right to heal now. It's like, oh God, I'm already dealing with stress at the mission, trying to heal on top of it. And it was interesting because I got robbed while I was there, got assaulted a few times while I was there. But what was interesting is I had some great people helping me out build reemergence. Not help me build it, but motivate me to get it off the ground. I had talked about it for a week, and then suddenly, as they say, you've got your street kids that come up to the younger generation. I got to help a couple out. So I got to teach them how to save their own marriage. And they said, look, you're good. You definitely need to put this out to the world. So I did, and that's where reemergence came from. Reemergence actually comes from a snail known as the reemerge. It's meaning flow within. The snail down in Amazon that literally goes up a tree, suspends itself from some type of weird ooze-like line, and it seals itself in its shell. And then when it reemerges, it becomes a moth about this big, and it's really weird. A snail becoming a moth. I thought that was fascinating. It is. Reemerging is something different, better than it was. And the top speed of this moth is anywhere from 30 to 55 miles per hour. And I'm like, that's a fast moth. Yeah, wow. I'm like, that's insane. And it has some insane things that come with it. It has the ability to hide itself in a tree. I mean, blend with the tree, like in the light, kind of like Predator almost. I mean, that like translucency that goes, and it's like the ultimate predator. And then it has these two little talons that kind of fold out of it, and it can grab hold of a bird and eat a bird. And I was like, that's a deadly moth. But I'm like, look what it went from. It went from a snail on the ground to this. And
looking at that concept, we all evolve from something, we all reemerge from something. I've been through a lot of trauma in the last few years, and for the longest time, I looked at trauma as something that was not meant to be touched. And then it was the last 2 years, because 2.5 years ago, you met me at the time that I had my paranormal team. So you and I have been talking for 3 years. You met me right at the tail end of it when I said, look, I'm getting ready to shut this down. So you were there at the last, I'd say, 7 months that team stayed active. And that team wasn't ready to hunt together. It wasn't. Only 2 of us were ready for it. And I tried, it was kind of funny. I was building my life coaching business at the time, but not really serious about it. So I was trying to integrate some life coaching into the paranormal. And it pissed a lot of paranormal investigators off that I was willing to retire. Oh, it did. It pissed quite a few people off that have known me, that had hunted with me, and they were mad that I was walking away. And I said, look, I've been doing this shit since I was 4 years old, man. I've gotten 38 years in the field of this. It's time to go. And the biggest one that pissed off was my ex, Lori, that was with me at the time, that I said, I'm done. This right here is our last hunt. We will do one final one of the year, and that's it. Oh, it pissed a lot of people off, but I didn't care because I was doing what was right for me after having 8 heart attacks in the field of the paranormal. It's time to go. And with that, I built Sealic. Sealic was not an easy thing. In 2 years, I've had 2 clients in 2 years with my business. That's it. I've given more product away than I have made money off of it. And it's been interesting. I've created some amazing tools. I created what I call the 130 Sealic 132 Quantum Mindset Rewrite Challenge. It's where you think of that. It's in what I sent you. It talks about finding 33 new ways how to think positive about yourself, finding 33 new positive affirmations about yourself, finding 33 new mindsets that you can rewrite your mindset, and finding 33 new things to be grateful for throughout the day. That's 132, and I do that every day. Before I released it to the market, I started doing it. I did it for 33 days, and in that 33 days, it changed everything, and I'm fixing to relaunch it again. And it's where every day I would write something that I was grateful for, or a lesson that I've learned. And I've learned some interesting lessons lately in humility and ego, reflection. Oh yeah, I've learned some deep. I've had some mirrors turned back at me. Literally had a mirror shined at me the other day that was like, oh shit. It was like, wow. I didn't realize my attitude was being this way. And it's humbling now. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, you'd have done that to me. I'd have looked at you and called you. You said, no, you're a dumbass, and walked away from me. But now, instead of me calling you a dumbass, I look at you and say, thank you. I needed that. I needed that, as they say, hit upside the head with the water bottle, as they say. Or my head pushed in that water for a minute to come out and be like, okay, this is how I'm affecting people. And I don't always catch how I affect people with my energy. And it's been interesting today. I've been kind of quieter than usual, and people around me are not used to that, me being this quiet. People aren't used to my energy being this way, and it's like I'm in a situation where I have to figure out how to leave town still on limited funds, because after I pay my bill, after I use my Social Security to pay out bills, I'm not going to have much left. So I have to rely on possibly other people to help me get to where I'm going. It leads to Washington. And I'm trying to find ways to raise money along the way. It's like, okay, universe, this is what you want me to do. You want me to dedicate my life to my craft. You want me to dedicate my life to my life coaching. But I have to find ways how to make money along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because
it's interesting. Stability. People look at the 4 walls of a house, stability, ground. Yeah, that's stability. But to me, that's a simple comfort of stability. Stability to me is knowing at the end of the day that I'm healthy, that I've eaten, that I've taken care of myself. And so far, I've done a pretty decent job. I've had a lot of help along the way, but it's like, honestly, being here in Kalispell, I'm not as happy as I thought I would be coming back this second go round. And it's like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to get moving, but I don't really have that choice but to sit in the stillness, sit in the peace that the universe wants me to sit in, and go with the flow.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I agree. What are your plans for your business? Like, well, let me ask you this. Wait, like, do you have any? Have you been having any extraterrestrial contact experiences or abductions or anything like that?
Oddly enough, I was doing a cast earlier on my show, Grimm's Gone Reemergence, Diving Deeper into One's Shadow Self, and I was talking to Janicki Mayhill, and she was Mayhill, and she was talking about the Dragonians and stuff like that. And it was funny, when I'm sitting right where I was, I watched two Dragonians, priest Dragonians, appear right here on both sides of me, and I felt them and saw them. And the message that I got was ironically from a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Yost himself.
Wow, John Yost. He came to you?
They delivered a message. They held up their hand and it showed a holographic image of him. John dressed in like almost ambassador-like clothes. John's doing greater things than he was doing here on Earth. Don't get me wrong, he did a lot of great things here, but it's like he's now become an ambassador and telling me to keep going on the path I'm going on. To have John say that, that solidifies that I'm on the right path. That solidifies that I'm doing what I need to be doing. Yeah. And that's not the first time he's come to me. There was a time the other night I went for a walk at night, and he appeared out of nowhere and said, continue on the path you're on, you're good. And for some reason, when I'm going into my meditations, it's like I pull to the Alaskan Triangle and I'm standing there upon this lake, and I keep seeing this young gal, probably the distance from me to about the trailer behind me. And it's like she's calling for help. Her. Every time I walk toward her, it's like the ground shifts back. And I watch this saucer of sorts hover above her. And she goes, the time has come to awaken all of humanity. And I watch her skin fade off and her become what she really looks like. And she rises above. And as she's rising, she says, don't forget what your job is. Don't forget what all your jobs are, to raise the vibration. And she vanishes. And that's about the second time I've had that vision in my meditation.
Wow.
I was at the store the other day and saw the human incarnate version of this alien version of her. And it was like, whoa. And that solidified it. That I need to go to Alaska. I need to go to the Alaskan Triangle. I need to find this lake. But I have a lot of preparation to do before I go there. Once I get to Washington, I have to get certain gear together because it's going to be starting to get colder up that way. So I've got to get some cold gear together. I've got to offload some gear. So I've got a lot of work to do before I go to Alaska.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, and you're being called to this lake. Do you feel like you have a mission there?
Yeah, I do. I just don't know what it is. That's the kicker, because once I stopped questioning what my mission was and started living with the flow of things, and here and now, as Janicki said on our cast, she said, start living in the here and now. And it's like it became something much deeper, something much greater. It became more than it was. It became a higher source than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
There might be a time that I might get up and shift from here to a back room where there's some light, because it's starting to go down here. So that way, at least the guests can still see me. Just figured I'd let you know if you need to get up and move the phone like this. It's me moving to another location.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, that's fine. What I was going to say was, do you want to tell the people a little bit about your conference? Or like, it's basically like a long podcast set, or like, days of podcasting, right?
It started out was going to be originally 5 days, and then I went, okay, so I kicked it to 10 days. Then within the first day of me getting all this prep work together, I got 14 people in the first day for this conference. Then the second day I got 17 people. Then from there, I decided to expand it to 18 days. Then, of course, I It was supposed to have been the 15th, and I took 2 days off to prep, and then it became 16 days, and we have paranormal investigators conference. There are going to be different people on different days. We've got international book authors from Kelly Hurley. We've got international healers from Janicki Mayhill. We've got actors coming on from what's his name? Michael Bailey Smith. He played Mr. Creepy in Men in Black 2. He was the guy that put the arm around the lady's neck, and because you taste pretty good, little lady. First of all, what kind of motor in a park is going to be leather from head to toe?
Yeah.
And what happened? He's going to be coming on. I've got an extra coming on. I still got to touch base with him. Stephen Hansen. He's an extra, but you know how you get extras in movies that are well-known extras. He's a well-known extra and a stuntman. I've got healers coming on. I've got Reiki masters coming on. I've got a lot of different people coming to this, and I'm trying to also do a small donation when it starts picking up more, to where once money is made, I'm going to split it between everybody. It's coming to the show. May not be very much, but I'm going to try to do that.
That's cool.
What reemergence, like I said, is about is where we've been, where we're going, the healing modalities we use, what we've used to get to where we're at, the different healings that we've all integrated into us, how our healings have worked for us, and how we can give them to humanity. That's what it's about. It started out just a series of wanting to interview people, then it became something greater, then it became... The first 2 episodes I've done have been very deeply healing, especially with Kelly Hurley. Kelly Hurley is known in Australia. She's the second most known healer in the whole country of Australia. Outside of Australia, she's third. She's only second in Australia. I cannot remember the woman's name, but she is well known. And to be able to bring these people together like this to learn their different healings, someone challenged me with a question the other day, a paranormal question, said, what's the difference between you and a paranormal? What's the difference when you were a paranormal investigator to you being a life coach now? And I sat and thought about it. He goes, not much difference, is there, Joe? And I go, explain, please. He said, okay, you're going into a home to give them closure, give them answers, what it could be bugging them, what could be harming their family. You're cleansing it. You're teaching them how to not lower their gifts, how to open up more, and teaching them how to be more protective of themselves. He goes, you're doing the same thing as a life coach. And I'm like, huh, interesting. He goes, the only difference is you're going in deeper with them. I went, okay. So it's taking my life coaching skills to another level. It's taking don't get me wrong, I still have a small love for the paranormal, not like I used to, not where I'm going to go out and hunt them, but it's everywhere. You don't just get to close that door to that paranormal once you put that much work into paranormal. You don't just get to close it. It'd be like you going and working at a corporate job and you trying to shut the past to your UFO past. Ain't going to happen. We can't just close those doors, what we've been part of. We can't just close those doors and move on from that part of our life. It is part of us. It's what makes us us.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah,
me going through everything I've been through recently has been a lot. I've been through a hell of a lot in the last 6 months by itself. And it's got me to a point to where I wanted to create an event for everybody that was unlike anything anybody had ever been to. Hence my event that I created. Something like nobody has. Something not like of anything out there. I did my research before I created this event. There's nothing other like this that I know of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
go ahead, Robert.
No, it's interesting for sure. You know, it's I'm excited for it. You know, it sounds really cool, and yeah. I'm just thinking of but I know what you're saying about the paranormal. You don't want to just shut that avenue down because you put so much time into it, right? Like that was like a big part of your life.
It was a big part of my life, and now that I've it doesn't resonate with me anymore. I had to move on from it. I had to not shut the door completely on the past of it. I had to shelf it to where it could sit on its own for a little bit. And if I'm ever called back, I will go back. But right now I'm doing the work I need to do, excuse me. My grandpa used to say, go ahead and try. I'd go pick some up. He says, you're not trying. I says, what do you mean? He said, if you pick something up, you're actually going to pick it up. You're not going to half-ass it now, are you? I said, no. My family motto is all in or nothing at all. You don't get to be half in. You don't get to be lukewarm. It's either you're in or you're not.
Yeah. That's a good point. I agree. And is that how you see it going with your coaching as well? Like where you'd like to take your coaching business?
I would like to take my coaching business to another level to where I'm actually having clients where I'm making money off of it. But it's like I've got all the stuff I'd like to do with my business. It's like, where do I take it? It's like also I've got to live normal life. I've got to find a normal job too. It's like I'm trying to balance all of this, my business, the podcast, and then my normal life. My ex-wife used to say there are 4 elements in your life. She goes, your personal life, your business life, if you have somebody in your life with them, and then your financial aspect. So I'm trying to balance all 4 of those and still have time for me. I still have time to do things that I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah. And one thing I was going to ask you was like, how do you help people in the in the coaching, like tap into their multidimensional or quantum selves?
I lead them in a guided meditation without hypnosis because most quantum healers, they use hypnosis. I don't. I help them relax, get to a point where I have them clear their head except of the most important place that they felt the safest. And some people there's one guy I helped out that he said the safest place he felt was sitting on his grandpa's jungle. I helped guide him from there. And I helped him open himself up more to where he could go deeper into himself and go on his own real life Indiana Jones adventure and find the pieces of himself that were missing. They weren't missing. I told him, I said they were just haven't been found yet. You're never truly lost. You just haven't been found fully yet.
That's really good.
I help people. I take them into a deep breathing exercise, and I take them to a point where they're relaxed. Then I take them to a step further to where they can silence their mind and listen to the stillness around them and be engulfed in it. There's a GIF that I have on my phone that someone made for me, and it says silent. It says listen, and then it flips over to silent and stillness. And it's interesting how in those moments of silence, we got to find that stillness. We got to find that we got to listen to our heart, listen to the vibrations around us and get to a point where we just have stillness, where we're in that set, where everything around us is just to a certain point where it becomes oblivious. My ex used to say that a lot. And I go, what do you mean? We got to focus on our life. She goes, there are times within your life that you literally have to block everything out, like the noise, the background noise. You have to block out all the noise and focus on you. You're no good for anybody, honey, if you can't take care of you. I had someone ask me a concept today, an interesting question today. One of the roommates here, well, it was secondhand information I got. He goes, the owner of the house here asked, he goes, how can he be a prominent life coach and barely have any money? I'm like, I thought about that one, and it's like, I'm not looking to be one of those 8, 9, 10-figure life coaches. I'm just looking, because there are a lot of life coaches out there. There's a lot of healers out there. There's a lot of us out there doing what we do that aren't no 10, 11, 12, whatever figures, but they're still making it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
build a network of people that I can be like, hey, look, mind if I stay with you for a moment or two, to where I might be able to maybe do some work around their house, work around their yard in exchange for services rendered where I stay with them. But within those moments, how, if you're not making those 10-day figures, how are you still able to sit at the table with life coaches? I asked that one to a 7-figure life coach that I have on my friends list. I go, I'm nowhere close to what you are, but how am I able to sit at this table and call myself a life coach? She goes, if you let your thoughts start thinking that, she goes, then you're doubting yourself, you're doubting your skills, you're doubting what you're capable of. She goes,
Yeah.
Everything comes in abundance. Everything comes when the universe is ready for you to have it. She goes, it's not that we're not going to work for it. She goes, but for you to be where, she goes, would you rather be where you want to or where the universe needs you to be? I said, I'd rather be where the universe wants me to be, needs me to be. And this is a humbling experience, having very little money. It is. It's very humbling, and it's teaching me a lot about myself, just how grateful I am to be able to do the work I do and make it through a day. I may not have much money. I rely on, I do little small stuff online for people. Like I'll do computer work. I'll give somebody coaching advice, and they may not be able to always afford my fees, but they'll still send something. So I'm still making some money somehow. I'm making enough to barely, I'm making barely enough to get by, but I'm still getting by.
Yeah.
I'm not making no $1,000 a month. There's times that I've had clients go to send me 100, and I says, instead of sending me the 100, take that 100 and break it up over a period of time so they can send me 5 payments, 20, so I have more to go on. And there's been times I've been here that I've asked people, I said, look, I don't have much to give, but I can go buy you a pack of cigarettes, go buy you a beer to take me to the store. Granted, it takes money away from me, but at least they're getting something out of the deal. So me barely getting by has been a very enlightening and humbling experience. It's been interesting being where I'm at because there's diverse people where I'm at. There's two. Like, sorry, go ahead.
What do you mean by diverse people? What's going on?
You have the trailer behind me that a mom and daughter stay in. Then you have the trailer back here that a guy lives in. Then you have me that stays in the house. Then you have the owner and his sister that stay in the house. So there's a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people here. 3 outside and 2 outside and 2 sets of people inside trailers. And then we're all different personalities. And it's interesting when you reach that concept of trying to figure out how you are around people. And what I'm starting to discover is, for me, being around people at times is really difficult.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're going to clash with people no matter where you go, no matter who you're around. You're always going to clash with somebody. You're going to find that one person that it's hard to be around. And it's going to get to that point where one of 2 things is going to happen. They're either going to react, or 3 things. You're going to react, they're going to react, or you're going to find some common ground that y'all can find some some pieces of you that are common with them. So you can either keep pushing at them or they can keep pushing at you, and it's going to get you nowhere. So when you're pushing at them and they're pushing at you, it's not really going to get you any places. Sorry, I knocked over my ashtray. It's not going to get you nowhere if you keep pushing at them. So you have to find, okay, they're pushing me, I'm pushing at them. Where can I find a common ground with these people? What can I do to possibly find a connection with them and allow myself to feel emotionally safe? And they can feel emotionally safe, and they can feel like they're not getting upset and you're not getting upset at them. So you have to find that connection, that gray area, as they call it. You have to be able to find a common area where all of you can somehow coexist within that common area. Because if you don't find that common area, it's just going to make it worse.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's going to make it harder for you to be there and harder for them to be there. And then, especially when they're not the ones that are making a lot of decisions.
That's a good point.
Every decision we make is based upon a choice, whether it be positive or negative.
Yeah.
It's taken me a long time to get that concept. It's taken me a long time to understand that concept and to grow in that concept. Focus on the here and now, not what's coming.
I think I'm gonna smoke a joint. I think I'm gonna light up a joint.
If I had one, I would. I'm fresh out of that. I've just got cigarettes.
So, where do you think we're at with disclosure? And like, what do you see with that coming? And like, let's talk some X-Files shit. Like, what do you think's going on with that? You always got some good stuff to say about that.
I've had someone tell me about the sighting that's been going on down, the sighting that's been happening more frequently, ironically. Been a couple of sightings I've heard about. I've heard about one up in Surrey. Or not, I've heard of one up in British Columbia, out in the middle, toward like the country lands of British Columbia, that there's this farmer, he'll come out. I don't know if it's real or not, because the pictures, they're left for interpretation. Where there was a saucer he saw that was shaped just damn near like my hat. Had the upside of the head had like a brim, and he took a picture of it, but because he's been known to cry, a lot of people aren't believing him, so he sent it to a few people. They sent it to me, and I've looked at it. I don't have a picture because I accidentally deleted it, but I know what it looked like. But it's interesting. It's talking about disclosure because I've heard of that one. I have heard of, there's some circles that I'm still part of. They're still talking about when the air balloons were over Canada that were Chinese. Now there's new evidence that have come out that the Chinese are like, no, that wasn't ours. But yet nobody formally saw the air balloons, but yet they talk about them.
What do you think it was, Joe? What do you think it was? Like something like interdimensional or something like that?
My opinion, yes, because there's one video of one of the air balloons coming across like this, and suddenly you watch it stop, dead in its tracks. Suddenly pull back and go. And you can see like a bunch of clouds forming around it, and the clouds disappear and it disappears.
Wow.
What that automatically makes me think of is back in the old days of the older movie Cocoon, when they're saucer with all that fog and all that. That's what it reminds me of.
Hell yeah. I remember that movie. You know, Spielberg's coming out. I've talked about this many times on my show, but Spielberg's coming out with a new disclosure movie. You know, it's supposed to be pretty big.
I've heard about that.
I wonder what John Yost would think. I miss John, you know. He was a good guy. John
was a pioneer in the field. That man actually opened my eyes to a lot of things. He opened my eyes to let my story out of my experience days, and it's full disclosure. It's interesting because I've heard about some talks on Capitol Hill recently that I came across on YouTube the other day. I wasn't even trying to find it. I was watching a video, and of course, you know, there are little commercials. Brought up commercial, and then it turned into a whole episode they did. So I watched it. They're up on Capitol Hill talking about how they need to start going full disclosure and letting out everything they have on UFOs. And you've got half of them that say no, you've got half of them say yes. So they're in deep gridiron talks about this, and it's like, okay. And then there was a project called Project Mathis. It was another UFO project that they were trying to figure out how to open an interdimensional jump gate, basically Stargate. We'll say it for what it is, a Stargate. And then suddenly that project It was public knowledge for almost 30 years, and suddenly 2 months ago they decided to, as they say, blockade it and bury it. You're going to leave it open for damn near 35 years, then why cover it up then?
Yeah,
Something
really.
like that. You've got it in the public space for 35 years going, and then suddenly you're like, nothing. It's like, what the hell? I went to the site the other day that talked about it constantly, and it's been taken down. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to talk about UFOs, talk about them. Bring them in the open. People have been talking about them for years because government don't know if they're a threat or if they are here just to study us or what they're here to do, because most of the UFOs you hear about have been over military bases or over somewhere that has a lot of power, and suddenly they lose their power. UFO takes off, power comes back. Okay. Why are you constantly talking about UFO being over like a dam or a military installation or what? Come on, there's got
what's crazy, Joe? Like, you don't hear about like the old school alien abduction cases anymore, where like people were like literally like tortured. You know what I mean? Like men were probed, like women, people used for hybrid experiments, and like it seems like the contact phenomena has really chilled out like recently. Like, as far as like what people are experiencing, when you like in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, that's all you heard was about the crazy alien abductions, and people would talk about how bad they were. I wonder if like things have changed in the galactic, like where the Greys have left or something. People say the Greys and the reptilians have left, but then a lot of people say no, they're still here. So it makes me wonder what the hell is going on, or maybe they're not allowed to abduct anymore, or maybe they, Daryl Sims, the alien hunter, said they finished their program, or he said they were finishing whatever program it was. I don't know. So there's so many theories out there. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant.
Oh no, that's okay. No, I get where you're going with it. It's like, yeah, you heard about it 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, then suddenly it's like it went. Hell, you even heard about it a couple of years ago, then suddenly it's like, okay, nobody's being taken anymore. It's like, and then I saw this documentary that came out the other day on reptilians, and this guy was talking about how he was out on a hunting trip, and he was alone in the woods at his spot that he goes.
Oh shit, you cut out, dude. You there? Can you guys hear me or see me? Oh, okay. Your voice cut out there for like 10 seconds, Joe. I can't remember.
Okay,
you're there now. You're good. You're good now. You're good.
What the fuck?
No, you're not.
Yeah, that was weird. It's like this guy was talking about he was on a hunting trip, and he watches all these deer come running literally within feet of him, and he's like, that's either a forest fire causing that, and he turns around and he looks the distance, like probably from here to about across the street, probably about 60 feet from him, and he sees this being that at least has got to be at least 6 or 7 feet tall. Not Sasquatch. He sees it has like spikes around its neck, and he sees its body is covered almost what would look like reptile skin. He had no clue what it was. He turned and went to aim his rifle, and it was gone as quickly as he saw it. And as he's coming down the ridge, there's a flat road there, and suddenly there's a guy standing there that wasn't there before, because this is an area that nobody goes to, that he says nobody comes to, nobody hangs out there, nobody does hunting there. He's about the only one. He said he's only ever seen one person in the 10 years that he's been coming out there, twice. And he said that was 2 years prior. He said this guy suddenly popped up out of the blue, a black man with an interesting necklace that he had around his neck. It looked like it had bear teeth on it. And that caught my attention, the way that he described it. And he said he had bracelets on that looked like they had some type of like bear talons or some like gator talons on them or something. And he looked at the guy and says, you see anything come running through here? And he said, no, I saw a deer. That's about it. And he said he turned where the guy said the deer was, and he turned back around, and the guy was gone. And he went and where he saw this guy come out of, he went and he said he had found what looked like the best way he could describe it would be like snakeskin, laying there like an entire snakeskin suit, and he put it up. He went and got some plastic and purposely sealed it up, put it in the back of the truck, and he said lifting this skin up by itself felt like he was lifting like a 200-pound man. So he took it back to his farm. By the time he gets to his farm where he lives at, there was a couple of SUVs that pulled up, and they proclaimed they were from the government. They proclaimed that what he saw didn't happen, and he looked at him and says, yeah, it did. Of course, he got idle threats, phone calls, middle of the night, and he didn't let him take the skin. He took it and moved it somewhere safe off his property, somewhere where only he knows where it's at. And he said he's been getting almost like he's been going back out to that same area. And he said he saw two more of these beings out there that far from him. One was within 30 feet of him, the closest it's gotten. And when he went down the road, he sat there on a stump, lit up a cigarette, waited, and suddenly two people come out of where he had found the skin at. One was a female, one was a male. He said they had on the same bracelet, same kind of necklace. He said it was kind of intriguing. He said, y'all must be like that other guy. And they turned and they looked at him startled. He said the other guy even let him take a picture of him. He showed him a picture of him. And they looked at each other almost like an oh shit look on their face. And best words he used is they scurried off real fast. And he said by the time he got to where they were, there was no other direction to go. The only direction to go would be straight down off of a 200-foot cliff into water. I'm like,
holy shit.
You got my attention with that one. He said he scaled that entire area. He even knows the path down to the water. He even checked it, and he found one of the bracelets and one of the necklaces down there on the shoreline. So he said the only way they went down was they jumped down or dropped down.
With what? What they dropped down with? How'd they drop down?
Don't know.
Maybe like some kind of like mountain rappelling gear or something like that.
The guy went talking in the video. He didn't say his name at all. He was saying his past that he's an ex-Navy SEAL that has rappelled off of mountains. So this guy knows his stuff. So he rappelled down and found
That's amazing, dude.
Chunks of human skin.
What?
With something else underneath of them. So he took them and had them analyzed, and it comes back to reptilian in nature. It comes back to reptilian human hybrid in nature is what it comes back to. I was like,
insane.
That's insane. That's exactly what I said. I'm like, what's funny is I went to go find this documentary again on Amazon Prime. It's not there anymore. There's another reptilian documentary, but not this guy's. I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I've been trying to find whoever this guy is.
Yeah, if you find him, we should interview him, dude. You know, like if you can find him, we should do it. We can do a combined interview. You know, like
this guy is interesting to have firsthand knowledge plus skin of one of these things. I thought that was intriguing.
That would be cool. That would be cool. You know, Joe, I was thinking while you were telling that story, I was like, that's where you really shine, man. Like even though that was from a documentary or whatever, but like you have like the most amazing X-Files type stories. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people have like a Dogman Encounters channel where they tell Dogman Encounters. Like you could do an experiencer accounts channel, dude, like a YouTube channel where you just tell experiencer accounts, like, because you tell it so well, and it's really your niche, dude. Like I just noticed that. Like I was like, I mean, I know coaching, you're really good at coaching and stuff too, but like, just like I see like from the times you come on my show, that's really where you shine, dude. It's like these experiencer accounts because you know them. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing.
I've had my fair share of encounter, but never with a reptilian net. I can't say I've ever encountered that one. I've encountered some interesting beings, but nothing close to that.
Yeah.
I've encountered what could be like a chameleon, something similar to that, but nothing like that I've encountered where I've seen. There was a guy I was sitting on the bus once years ago when I was actually in Alaska, and This was actually Japan I was in. We picked this guy up on a lonely dirt road. He got on the bus, sat down, and I noticed his skin. Remember, Men in Black, where his skin was all bunched up. I saw this guy's skin all bunched up on his neck, and I said, "You okay, man?" He goes, "I'm good." I said, "Your skin on your neck is like puffed out here. That's not natural." He goes, he looked at me, and right when the bus stopped, he got off real quick and disappeared into the darkness. So, of course, I followed. And I'm hearing, it's like I get probably within 10 feet or 12 feet of his location, and I'm hearing him talk. And he goes, "We need to get me out of here." I'm like, suddenly there was this like bright light that exploded out of nowhere, and I came to a few minutes later, and when I went over to where he was at, there were these symbols on the ground, almost like in a formation that would be about a foot by 2 feet wide. I took pictures of it. I get back to Maiden Road the next day. I go back to my motel. And of course, as I'm coming down to check my messages, I get pulled aside by men in black suits.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, this is interesting, but these aren't American. These are Japanese.
What?
Yes. And they're speaking perfect American. And I'm like, no, you're not going to tell me what I saw did not really happen. You're not going to tell me that. And of course, I left, came back to America, and kind of put that in that whole X-Files file of things that I've encountered, and haven't looked at it since.
Wow, that's so weird, dude. That's amazing, man. I don't even know what to say. That's amazing. I mean, like, these people have the most. This is like, we can make a series out of this stuff. It's amazing, but it's like, it's people go through crazy shit, That's what's so weird about the contact phenomena, There's so many people that report that they have good encounters with like Pleiadians and Arcturians and, Nordics and even reptilians. I've heard some benevolent encounters, but then when it comes to like other people, you hear like, they tortured me, they stole my DNA, they raped me, so it's like, it's such a weird crescendo with the contact phenomena, It's like,
I agree completely, because there's horror stories, there's movies out there that have been horror stories, and like John used to say, he said, granted, there are people out there that have had their bad encounters. He goes, but less than not often enough do people not ever talk about the positive encounters, what actually happened, to the point where they were able to be calm about it. He goes, too often that doesn't happen. He goes, you don't hear about that. He's right, and you're right. You're always hearing about these screwed up encounters people have went through. You're not hearing. I heard of one encounter. There was a lady years ago when I was actually down in Vegas. They were trying to clear these people. There was like 7 people that lived in this area that they wanted to clear for a road. 3 out of 4 of them left the area. Went on, but 4 of them would not move because they'd lived there since Vegas was Vegas. They'd lived on that property since the city was being built. So it was like their homestead. And this lady was, 87-year-old lady was telling me about this encounter where she was out on her land, and a storm came through, knocked windmill over on top of her. She couldn't move, and she suddenly heard this voice in her head saying, "Be still, be calm." And she sees this being. She sees this being. She described it as looking like it was like it had a ponytail, but you could see that its head was elongated, but it had a ponytail with like other braids coming off of its head. It looked humanoid in essence, but she could tell it wasn't. And he came up and says, "Do you need some help?" He stuck his hands out like this. Granted, his hands were like this. He stuck his hands out and went like this and lifted it up and shifted it to the ground.
oh shit, he cut out. Joe, you cut out for a second. You were saying he lifted something up and his fingers were bent, and then he put it in the grass.
Here we go. We're back.
Oh, cool,
Okay, he said that he lifted it up with his hand like this and moved the object, and it got to a point where he sat down with her and stayed with her until she was better, until her legs healed. It's wherever he came from. Hold on. Give me 30 seconds here. Back on now. And can you hear me?
You cut out. You cut out again.
Okay. What was last you heard?
That he put the thing in the grass. He was able to lift it up like with his fingers or whatever, it bent, and then he was putting it in the grass.
Yeah, he lifted it up, put it in the grass, and he stayed with her for the next 2 weeks that it took her to heal her bones. And he ended up staying for the next 30 years with her.
And he was like some kind of alien.
Yes, he stayed with her, and he got to a point where he could take form. And he took the human form of her husband that was lost in war. And people thought her husband was truly back. And he stayed with her that long and stayed with her the rest of his time there. And it got to a point where he started staying in the human form. The longer he stayed in the human form, he actually aged like a human. So he stayed with her and enjoyed his life here. And there were pictures of her and him that they were enjoying life together. They were just living life together, and he healed her. And she said he gave me the greatest gift he could have ever given me. She goes, he couldn't make me full immortal, but he gave me extra years. He gave me that life back in me. And she goes, when it comes time for me to go, I know where I'm going because I'm going to be next to him. She goes, he gave me a second chance at life. And there was a mausoleum on the property that she showed me where she had me open the door, of course, and I went out and I saw a big old like brick table built up to about right here. And I actually got to see the dead version of him, not in his human form, in his, we'll say, alien form. I was like, wow. And he'd been dead a while. You could see that he'd been there a while dead. But yet he was able to enjoy his life here on Earth with her. That blew my mind. I've heard many of horrifying stories, but nothing to the caliber of that have I heard.
It was weird, dude. It was like an alien love story. You know what I mean? It was like it was like a true like alien love story. You know, it was. I mean, the fact that he took form of her husband and like stayed with her. You know what I mean? That's like so, you know.
That's one of those that is random that you don't hear about those. You hear about the destructive, what they want to do. They want to harm us. They want to destroy us. Let's nuke them. Let's kill them. You don't hear nothing about that maybe they're coming here to live amongst us, to have a second chance life, because we don't know where they come from. We don't know if they're rolled a war-torn planet. We don't know if their world's got poverty, and they found this is sustainable planet here with us. We don't know, because all we ever hear about is government catching them, torturing them. That's all we ever hear. We don't hear the positive sides of all those stories.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah. There's many stories that I give you that sound almost like something out of sci-fi movies, but I can give you several stories of. There was one time I was on the road out in Roswell. Matter of fact, I've been all over the States. And I was on Roswell, my truck broke down, and I go to call my phone. I go to call AAA, and I'm like, and I have no signal, and suddenly, truck fires right up. I hear my hood slam because I'm about a quarter mile down the road. I come running back down, and this guy pops out from the hood, about I'd say 5 foot even. Your truck's good. You're good to go. And I go, my truck hasn't been able to run for 4 hours. I go, what'd you do? He goes, just needed some energy. I'm like, okay. He takes his hand and goes like this. pulls it off of his face, and I watch him take what looks like a bandana off his face, but it's skin, and I get to see his real form. He's not a gray. He's got like spike. He was a actual reptilian. I was like, what the hell? And he goes, well, I'm glad I could help, glad I could assist. He goes, because that's all some of us are here to do. He goes, we're not here to harm people. We're here to assist. We're not here to change your DNA. We're here to help you awaken your DNA. We're here to help you find your path. He goes, we're not here to destroy like governments make us out to be. He goes, that's why we stay hidden. He goes, it's like Sasquatch. He goes, if you're a Sasquatch, are you going to want to come out and then be put on display?
That's insane. We got an audience submission here. This is I think you'll find this interesting, Joe. This is from Michelle Zaremba. She's from across the pond, I believe, and she says, I saw something flying in my lamp. It was small. It quickly came back out. It was about 4 times bigger than flew in my wardrobe, then dissipated. My ex-partner was beside me in bed, and then she followed that up with, this was about 5 years ago when tons of crazy shit was happening, almost holographic. That's deep, dude. When you're experiencing stuff like that, there's something going on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is. I mean, like, you're experiencing other dimensions or other realities. If things are happening, they're holographic. It's like you're on another frequency, you know?
Exactly. That one, I don't know how to explain that one. That's one of those ones I've very limitedly heard about where things coming out of the blue, then suddenly disappearing, coming back. Yeah, that one, you definitely intrigued me with that one, Michelle. Indeed.
I wonder what it was, you know? I have no clue. I have no clue what it could be. You know what I mean? It could be a fae or something, you know? It could be a fae, like a little person, like a fae, you know.
Yeah, they have tendency to appear and disappear and then suddenly vanish again. It's kind of like brownies, the little short people that are like this, like they talk about on Willow, that really short, that like to take things and hide things and replace things. Is there anybody that wants readings yet?
Oh, yeah, I just got to run one more thing by you. Guess what I heard the other day? I heard this from 2 different sources, dude, that the Ewoks are a real race out in space. Like somewhere, like on another planet, the Ewoks from Star Wars exist. Like they're a whole thing, you know?
That would be interesting. That one I haven't heard much of. I've heard something about it in the 90s. And then kind of not really dismissed it, didn't think much about it.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like, yeah. Yeah, we did have one reading. We had Rebecca. I can see what she actually donated. So thank you, Rebecca. Let me see here. Where's it at? See if she left a message. Okay, I'm pulling it up now. She says just read a reading. Just a general, whatever you pick up off her. Her name used to be on YouTube. It used to be Freedom is Essential, and her name's Rebecca. And I don't think she's in the chat. I was going to say I could pull up her avatar, but that's not much. I don't know how much, if you can go off that or what.
I keep seeing Rebecca's been going through a lot of struggles with, I don't want to say financial, I just want to say she's been going through a lot of struggles recently through just some financial, been going through some stuff with family. But I keep seeing somebody in the audience that's been having some pains going on lately, physical and emotional, where someone's been not deliberately hurting them, but just not reaching out to them the way they want them to. That's what I keep seeing in somebody in your audience. That's what I keep feeling. I don't know who it is, though. That's the kicker. I can't identify who it is. Usually I can just, tonight I'm a little off, just a little bit.
Well, that's a really hard read too. I mean, just to hear someone's name like the rest of the readings, I think they'll be like, you'll at least be able to tap into their avatar. You know, um, let me see here. This is another interesting quote from Michelle. She says, "I used to dream of teddy bear Ewoks as a child. They would march behind me and chase me and mazes, buildings, corridors, just saying my 56 years are nuts."
It's kind of funny she talks about the Ewoks. Because when I was younger, oh no, I knew there was something out there, something more out there in this universe. Has rated his stream.
Yeah, my friend Art Bell, all things Art Bell. Shout out to him. He has an Art Bell channel on Rumble, and I listen to it a lot. He does real long compilations. Like he'll do like 8 to 10 hour Art Bell compilations. They're sick, dude. Like anyway, he has another channel. It's called Night Captain, and they rated the stream, which is good. That means he brought people over on Rumble. Because you can do Rumble raids, So thank you, dude. For doing that. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Yeah. If anybody else wants a reading, put your name in the chat. You don't have to donate. You can just if you're interested and you want a reading, put your name in the chat and we'll get you. Okay, Missy Hill. She comes on my show all the time. She would like a reading. She's a paranormal historian. I'll just give you a little bit of background on her. She's a paranormal historian. She does Brown Mountain Lights tours, you know what I mean? She's like a UFO. She's a sky watcher, she's a grid worker too. She works with Indigo Angel. Sorry, that's probably too much information.
I keep seeing loss with Missy, not physical loss, just some type of emotional loss. I don't know why I keep seeing that. I keep seeing like an emotional loss with Missy. It's hard to describe what I'm seeing with Missy, like where she's sitting at a table, where she used to sit at with her family. But I keep seeing this table where she's sitting at it with the family, with her mom, her dad, her grandma, and I'm seeing generations of her family there with her, and I'm watching them just kind of disappear. Each one of them disappear, and I'm watching just certain people come sit at the table with her, and then I'm seeing certain people just almost fighting over nothing. Fighting over just, I don't know, I wouldn't say nothing. It means something to them, but in the end, it doesn't mean really anything. I keep seeing them fighting over like a bowl that's got a bunch of beads in it. I keep seeing that. I don't know why I keep seeing the bowl with beads. I don't know if it's prominent to her. It's a decorative piece. It's got beads or stones in it of some sort. Not really sure what it is, what I keep seeing. This one's a hard one to pinpoint. This one is not an easy one to pinpoint. I keep seeing an older man with a hat like mine sitting there. I can tell he's like a hierarchy in the family. The one I keep seeing sitting there with her. He's sitting at the head of the table. Missy, does this mean anything to you?
What's weird is Joyful Jennifer says sounds like her house. So I wonder if you're tapping into this Joyful Jennifer, like if you're just tapping into people in the audience.
I figured I'd try something. Usually when I do reads, I try to focus on one person. So I figured I'd try something. I tried something different the last couple of days. Instead of just focusing on one, I've opened up myself to where I can, at times it can drain me, but usually when I get some water, I'm good. Just, for some reason, I keep seeing Missy and Jennifer connected. I mean, connected, like, not this lifetime. I keep seeing The table I'm seeing is like almost 1820s, 1830s. That's what I'm seeing now. I'm seeing more of a prominent thing of a long-ass table sitting inside of a castle of sorts. And really?
Yeah, you went out. So, oh shit, he disappeared. He'll be right back. Hopefully, guys. Hopefully he can reconnect. It should be good. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. I hate when this happens because I feel like I'm stuck. I'm like stuck to say something. Well, yeah, I don't usually smoke weed on camera, so. Okay, here we go. Here we get Joe back. Oh man, thanks, Joe. You say I was like starting to have to talk to the camera.
I keep seeing like I said, this bowl. Each time something's taken out of it, it's dropped to the ground and it sprouts something. So what I keep seeing is whatever these beads are, their creation. These are they're about yay big. And each one of these family members, these people are coming into this room, reaching this bowl, taking a bead and just tossing it like it's nothing. But each one of it's certain family members are coming through and taking the bead.
Here's what she said. She said she has had a loss, but she's come out of it. She said she's picking up the past. That's interesting. So she has had a lot of loss.
Really? Again? Give me 1 second here. 3, 2, 1. Again. Okay. Let's try this again. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
The energies are insane tonight, I can feel.
Oh, yeah, they are. They definitely are. It's weird because I thought we were coming out of it, dude. Like we were in a full moon during a Lionsgate portal, and the energies were intense, dude. The closer the moon got to Earth, the crazier shit got. And I'm talking about like it was like really like insane. Like I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but like during the Lionsgate, during the full moon, it was pandemonium. And I thought we were coming out of that, dude. But then I got hit with like just what you said today. Like the energies were very off today. People were, I can tell by the way people act towards me. Like if people start to act eccentric and aggressive and like unruly, then you know something's up with the energy. You know what I mean? That's the best gauge for it,
Exactly. I've noticed that around here too, because there's times that, granted, I get it, we all have off days. I get it, we all have pieces of us that are out of sync, but for it to be almost a continuous thing, you just go off at little unsettled things that normally don't require you to go off at them. That happens here frequently with one of the roommates that is here, that he goes off the subtle things that don't really need all that anger and that aggression at him. But it's like energy affects people differently. And for some reason, I keep seeing Amanda on your show. Someone in the audience, Amanda, or tied to an Amanda, has ties to an Amanda.
There's a lot of Amandas that come on my show. I'm trying to think. Well,
Sure.
Missy, who you were just reading, has ties to Amanda. She works with Indigo Angel, and Indigo Angel's name's Amanda. And what's funny about that is me, Indy, and Missy might take a trip out to Henderson, Nevada, to like by Area 51. To do like a UFO tour type thing, So that's what she wanted to ask you. She wanted to ask you, what do you think about our trip? Like, do you think it's a good idea for us to go to Area 51 on November 15th or around that time?
Honestly, yes. I do feel the trip's going to be successful. Just when you encounter the one calls himself the chief, he'll help you.
Whoa.
You want one that has chief or goes by chief or something chief tied to him. He will help. I don't know. That just kind of came through out of the blue.
Whoa. That's crazy, dude. I don't know what's going to happen, you know? Maybe it's meant to be this trip, you know? I'm starting to think. I don't know. Like, I want to see Area 51 before I pass. You know, I want to go out that way, like where Art Bell was, you know, like the desert and, you know, I want to see the little alien inn and all that stuff, you know? I want to see all that stuff. Like, you know, I'd love to go to Roswell too, which is down in New Mexico. I'd like to make a road trip. I'd go to Roswell and like go to the Roswell Museum or whatever or something, and then go to like Skinwalker Ranch, you know, do like a whole thing. I mean, if I could afford that, that'd be great. You know, that costs, you know, I mean, that would be I did go cover that whole West Coast area, you know, like.
Definitely.
Have you ever? Oh, you live out there, don't you? Don't you live close to that way?
I stay right now currently in Kalispell, Montana. One of my road trips is to Area 51. One of my road trips is to, ironically, Roswell, New Mexico.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah. Like, do we have anything else for me? Should I move on to the next person?
I keep feeling that there's a couple more people with some massive emotional trauma they're going through.
Well, I don't know if this girl does, but this is the next. This is Erin, and that's her picture there. And she says, "Rob, Joseph, this is me, Erin Elizabeth. Is there anything you can see for me?" I met Erin at the conference this year. She's cool as hell. There's an interview with us on. I did it the first day I was at the conference this year. But yeah, she's a really cool person.
I don't know why, Aaron. I keep seeing that there's times that you've got split decisions on things when you're trying to make a decision about something, that you're divided, that you're not fully connected to yourself on certain things. You're connected to yourself on a lot of things, but I keep seeing there being split decisions with you, where you've got a decision that you're trying to make, but you're not sure what to do. I also keep seeing that there was a split decision not that long ago about a man. I'm not going to say it's dating, just a man. That's what I keep seeing. It's like some decisions you've had to make, Aaron, have had to involve bettering your life, and it involved hurting somebody, but it was for the betterment of you. That's what I keep seeing. I could be wrong, but I keep seeing that. Where you've had to make a decision to let somebody go, even though it hurt, but you had to do it because it's what was best for you. If that makes any sense, Aaron.
Let me see if she responds. She didn't respond. When you asked if anybody was troubled in the audience, you said someone was going through like major issue, or not major issue, but let me see. She said it does make sense. Yeah, she just answered. She said yes.
I see someone else going through some major emotional struggles as well. It's another female I see going through some major struggles.
She's
with herself. That's what I keep doing.
I was trying to find the comment. It's Sally Forth. She says, "Me, I'm troubled," but then she laughed and she said, "But seriously."
You seem like you're very seriously troubled there, Sally. A lot going on within your life, within a short amount of time, of things that have happened within around you, that a lot have happened. I keep I keep seeing something about a will. Don't know if it's old news or new news, but I keep seeing a will. Not a person will, an actual paper will. It's just for some reason with Sally, I keep seeing a flash of a, almost like a mill, like the one that turns. I keep seeing this land with this big old mill on it, with this tower that's got the mill that turns. Oh my God, I can't think what they turn, they go, like what they use for solar power. You know, the big things that go up and it's got the propeller on it. I keep seeing those around her. Not physically around her, but emotionally around her. That's what I keep.
That's deep, dude. That's deep. Let me see if she responds.
Windmill. And usually when there's a windmill, means there's some big decisions coming up to be made.
Does that any of that resonate with you, Sally? Or Tiffany? Her name's Tiffany in real life. But does anybody or Tiffany? Does that resonate with you? Yeah, Crystal. I'll get you next. I saw Crystal wanted a reading. But like, guys, if I missed you, if I accidentally passed you up, like, put your name in the chat. Now, I think Kaysen, you wanted a reading too. She said, I mean, it does, Rob. So yeah, like, because I know her. I know her as well, and it does. It does. I think it makes sense with her. Yeah. Wow, that's cool. And the next one is Holland Crystal. And yeah, if I missed you, Kaysen, I think you wanted a reading. Yeah. And then who else? Sorry, but this is Crystal, and her name's Holland Sass, and her name's Crystal.
Crystal, did you just recently have someone pass away not that long ago? I don't know why I just saw that. It's kind of, I usually don't go toward the death of a loved one, but that just kind of came out of the blue. Don't know why. What I'm seeing is someone recently passed away and you're having to pick up the pieces. You've had to pick up the pieces a lot in your life, Crystal. Holland Sauce, you've had to pick up the pieces a lot to get to where you're at. You've not had a lot of people be there for you. You've had to figure out a lot of it yourself, and that's what I keep seeing. And I keep seeing, for some reason, not long, you're going to be money coming your way. I mean, a lot of psychics, they say money, but money doesn't always mean money or cash. Abundance coming your way. Money can be cash to somebody, and money to somebody could be the abundance of a house, of a home. Abundance and money doesn't always mean the same thing to people. I keep seeing something with you, Crystal, that something you've been putting into fruition, putting a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into is going to be coming into fruition very soon. And you'll get to sit back and watch what you built and what you birthed into creation. That's what I keep seeing with you, that you just recently got done with a big project that you kept quiet behind the scenes, not even told Robert about, or anybody about for that fact.
She says, thanks, working hard. You know what? That makes sense because she has a business, I know, too. So, I mean, I guess, so that would, I mean, maybe she did just finish a big project, and maybe abundance is coming her way, Like, I hope so. She's a good person. I met her last year at the conference, too. She's amazing, actually. Like,
that's what I keep seeing, is the abundance that you've worked so hard for will pay off very soon.
Oh, she owns 2 businesses, she said. She said selling one in escrow now.
So did anything I say make sense to you, Crystal, or resonate with you?
Oh, I think. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I'll ask her that. Did this resonate with you, Crystal? She said yes, totally.
I'm glad it did.
Let me see who's next here. Okay, this is Kason, and Kason's from Sri Lanka. He's amazing, and yeah, he watches the whole in Sri Lanka. But that's what's the great part. I bitch about YouTube a lot, but like that's what's great about YouTube is it really connects people from around the world. You know what I mean? Like,
Mr. Lee, I keep seeing that you've recently made a big decision and you're following through with it. That's what I see, that a big decision has come your way that you're following through with finally. That you're wanting to take the next step into the engagement of it. It's what I got. It's a very short one for you, Lee. It's what I can give you. Hopefully that resonates.
yeah. Did I miss anybody? Does anybody else want a reading? Nathan Wayswitch Fox wants a reading. He's cool. He's from Canada. I know that, and he's involved in the SSP programmer. He believes he is, yeah, but I think he really was used in something like, it just resonates. I don't know. It just resonates with me. He's come on the podcast before. He's come on like group shows and stuff like that, and he's told his story. But he says, I would like a reading and information on this Seth Donovan Braddock you mentioned in your last appearance.
Haven't thought about that name in a while. He's right, I did. I mentioned a man that I was involved with on the whole, as they say, jump gate program where we were taken to a base up in space. And I saw a file name that had Seth Donovan Braddock on it. It was interesting. Never met the man personally. I just heard of him talk about like he was myth and legend, how he was the first one they did, and he was the only one that successfully made it through all the jumps. And let's talk about it. All I ever knew about this guy was they simply called him the compass. That he could literally pinpoint every time that a portal or something was going to open up, and he knew how to step into it because they'd done so much upgrades on him, as you say, that he was the gate. He could open the gate at any point. He can open up a gate big enough for himself or a gate big enough for hundreds of people at a time. And what I got on you, Nathan, is that everything you said that you're involved in is true. I know everything that you've been part of is true. You're not alone out there, brother. I've been involved in some programs that I remember some of them. I don't remember all of them, but I remember enough of them that I've been in them to where, of course, they did things to us to try to improve humanity, but to me, it wasn't really improving humanity. It was doing it for their own betterment, the government's betterment. It wasn't improving humanity. It was making it so they could find a new type of weapon, a new type of colony to overthrow like we've done forever. We find something we want, we overthrow it, we bring more we want. It generally happens. What I see with you, Nathan, is that you've been through a lot, that you've gotten to the point where it's made you stronger. It's made you a better person. And keep pushing no matter what, Nathan. You're not alone out there.
Jason, I just read this out. Jason or Derek or Kids Aloud, any of you guys want readings? You guys never get one. That's why you never ask for one. So like, that's why I figured I'd offer. Like, you know, I mean, I know you might not want one. I do too. So I don't know. Uh, I don't know. Who else? Michelle Zaremba, you're in the audience. Do you want a reading? Michelle's the one who had all the weird shit happen to her. That we've been pulling up comments. I wanted to pull up Rebecca's profile. She's now that she's with us. Rebecca was the girl that you read at the beginning, but you you tapped into everybody else perfectly, but her you weren't really able to completely, tap in. But I have her profile here now. It's not showing it to me. Where am I going? Yeah, I have her Oh, here it is. Here it is. I have her profile here now, and that's her picture and everything. Maybe if there's anything you can get from her,
But she spent a lot of time on the water, not just from the picture. I keep seeing her literally just using water as life, literally using the water to heal. She used that water to heal herself constantly. That's where she felt the greatest at, was by the water. That's what I keep seeing. I keep seeing that she spent most of her life by the water, and she loves the water.
Oh, this was a really nice comment from Nathan Wayswitch Fox, who you just read. He said, "Thank you, Joe. I'm honored."
You're welcome. I keep seeing you by the water constantly, Rebecca. Any chance you get, you love the water. That's what I keep seeing. I keep seeing like you sitting Indian style and you hovering above the water and you shifting your hands and moving them around with you in a natural flow state, and water rising up all around you, and you using the water to heal, you using the rain to heal, you using the natural elements to heal. That's what I keep seeing. That's what I can give you. That's what I can give you.
This is good. This is good. You want to stop here? We had one from Rumble. We had one from, you just want to stop now? What do you think?
Or my body's saying enough readings.
Okay.
I haven't had much to eat today. I ate very little earlier because I've been too consumed by my work, and that's what happens when I get consumed by work. I don't eat, so I've got to eat at some point.
Yeah. Well, it was good having you on, Joe. Honestly, I love the X-Files stories, dude. You get the best experiencer accounts. Seriously, dude, you do. Like they're really like, like I said, dude, you can make a series out of that. Like I would listen to that all the time. You know what I mean? Like, because I do listen to stuff like that. I listen to people tell, like, I love that when you can just turn on like a podcast and you hear someone's voice and they're telling like an experiencer account or even a story. Stories are even good. You know what I mean? Like just like it's almost like soothing to the ears, and it's interesting at the same time. You know what I mean?
Okay. Sunday, then we will do an experiencer show. If you're up for it, I would love to come on your show on Sunday, and not a reading show, just let out some of the experiences that I've been through, good and bad.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. We should definitely do that for sure. Let me see what I have going on Sunday. I get it Sunday the 24th. I can do it, but it might not be until like 9:30 or 10 my time. That's good.
I have no problem with that.
Okay, let me write it down so I don't forget. Because how am I going to fit this on this little spot in the calendar? Hold on. Joe Grimm.
John and I wanted to do a show like that, but we never did it. We were in talks about it where it was just going to be an experiencer show, have different experiencers come on, share what they've been through. We never did it though.
Yeah, man. That's. I think that's your specialty, dude. Honestly, it's really where you shine. You have the best experiencer accounts. If you started a show like that, dude, I bet you people would start calling in and giving you their accounts, and then you could just tell them, that's what the Dogman guy does. Like the Dogman Encounters guy, he had his own encounters at first, And then people just started writing in and calling in, and now he does a different one every week of someone's account. It's fascinating. Well, by the way, what do you think of Dogman? Do you think it's like some kind of research experiment, or do you think it's like a werewolf, like an unclassified species?
I'd say an unclassified species. Ivan Sanderson was one of the world's greatest cryptozoologists, and he had documented different species, and there's people that are going out and picking up his torch. Something monster show on Amazon Prime, that my opinion with Dogman, that there are different species of it. There are different. It's like I've been getting recently into the whole Bigfoot expedition, and I've been hearing a lot of talks of Dogman recently, Bigfoot. Been hearing a lot of talks recently about different crypto creatures that are just suddenly popping up that no one can find anything that is close to them.
Wow. Oh, man. There's a guy in the audience that really could use guidance, Joe. I know you got to eat. Like, I felt bad because the other guy said to him, "Good luck." I guess he's like hurting or something. Or maybe he's this guy here. I just want to show you. Maybe you could just give him a few words of guidance. Like he says, and sorry, Joe, I know you got to go eat and stuff. He says, "I could use some guidance, Rob, if Joseph has time."
Don't give up. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't stop. Because I know people have been recently telling you to just stop and quit. No, don't do that. I don't know your story. I just keep seeing almost like you're going forward and more obstacles keep putting your way. Use those obstacles for change. Use those obstacles to help you. Use those obstacles to guide you. If something doesn't connect or resonate with you, move on from it. But look for the one person that connects with you. Look for that one person or that group of people, as they say, your tribe, that connect with you, and continue to be that shining light that I know you are. And don't stop. Continue pushing forward. Forward momentum builds forward motion. Forward motion builds continuously pushing forward. Continuously pushing forward builds an unbreakable force of nature. Every piece around us may be dysfunctional, but every piece, even if it's cog, whatever it may be, think of a clock. Every piece of that clock it takes to make those hands shift. Look how many pieces a clock has in it. Simply a watch. How many intricate pieces does it have to make it move? So every one of us is an intricate piece in your life to help you keep going.
Wow.
It's the best I can give you.
Yeah, well, this was amazing, Joe. I hope that works out for you, Finsta, and thanks for watching. And Jennifer says, "Don't listen to the naysayers in and out of your thoughts." Oh, if Finsta thanked you, he said, "Thanks, Joseph," and so he did hear you. So that's great.
Welcome. You're correct. Naysayers, don't let them in. If somebody says something negative about you, walk away. I tell them you don't resonate with me. Or if they try to give you what I call a backhanded compliment, basically an insult, tell them thank you. Okay. Yeah, I know I'm strong. Or switch it around if somebody says, "Hey, that something negative about you," flip it around and be like, "I know I'm good. I know I'm great. I can keep pushing."
Yeah.
Take
Night Captain also says, "Good advice," and he says, "Good luck, Fins." So he says good advice too. It was, yeah. And Joyful Jennifer wants him to know. She's over on the YouTube chat. She says, "This is to you, Finsta." She says, "You got this." She's here to remind you. When she loves the unicorn logo, So Joyful Jennifer's awesome.
I agree. You got this, Vince. Keep going. You are worthy. You are amazing. You are unstoppable. You've got this. You're not alone. We may not know your path, your journey, your story, but we walk beside you spiritually there, standing with you on the forefront, saying, let's go. Let's ride.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Well, dude, thanks, Joe. This was awesome. I have you down for Sunday, the 24th. We're going to get into some experiencer accounts. So, I mean, what time do you want to do it so we can tell the people now? So if they like this show, they can mark it on their calendars, and like we can actually give them a time, like if they want to come back and hear some good experiencer account stories.
Let's go about 9:30, 10 o'clock, because I noticed that's when most of these people are up moving around.
Yeah. And Little Star Big Aaron just said, Elizabeth said, I just subscribed to your channel, Joseph. Looking forward to hearing more. Thank you so much for all you do. And she says, Rob, thank you so much for all you do. So,
thank you.
What's your YouTube channel, Joe?
Sealic Coach, I think. It's Sealic and then Coach, if I remember right.
Okay. So yeah, guys, go subscribe and guys, subscribe to me over on Rumble. It's rumble.com/typical skeptic podcast. And on YouTube, it's at truthseeker5197. And I'm on Odyssey too, which they're my old catalogs on Odyssey. But you want to promote your conference and stuff, Joe, too? And anything else you want to promote? If you want to ask,
my conference is still going on. It'll be going on until September 3rd. Anybody's welcome to come on and be part of it. I'm still trying to get it to where I can bring on more than one guest at a time, because Zoom is I'm limited with Zoom, so I'm going to see what I can do about doing part of the conference on TikTok, because I can bring up to 8 to 9 people at a time. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to also put it out there in the open that I'd like to see some people coming over to my TikTok where I can start promoting more off that. Because I notice I get more people watching me on TikTok than I do. I get 1 or 2 people watching me on Facebook. I've gotten like 20 or 30, if not more, on TikTok. I haven't done much of the conference on Instagram at all. But my conference is open to anybody that wants to come over to it. There's also going to be, in the famous words of R.L. Stine, the way he wrote his books, there's the beginning, the middle, the twist, and the extreme twist. It's going to be it hasn't gotten to the twist part of my show yet, but there's a hidden thing within my show that I'm calling Grimm's Roundtable Discussion, where I will be inviting people to it, and it will be separate from my show, but it will be during the time period of the show that I'm going to do over on TikTok, and anybody's welcome to it. It's going to be a discussion on the caliber of the topic of UFO and experiencers, because there's a lot of people out there that talk about like healing and stuff like that, but what I'm getting ready to do is a show within my show, the caliber that would put a smile on John Yost's face, because I talked to him about a project I wanted to do once where he knew I had a thing for life coaching. John's actually when I kind of kicked my butt into life coaching, helped push me into that level where I wanted to do a group where it was strictly for abductee experiencers, people out there that have went through something, whether it be through abductee experience or had a crypto experience or something like that. It's going to be called Grimm's Roundtable Discussion.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, if you guys don't know who we're talking about rest in peace to John Yost. John Yost is the creator of the film Alien Abduction Answers. He was on my show numerous times, and Joe interviewed him as well. And Joe didn't just interview him. Joe became friends with John Yost, and they had a lot of deep discussions on the contact phenomena and stuff like that. And that's kind of how me and Joe know each other, because Joe knew that I talked to John Yost before, and we had that in common, and John Yost was amazing. Another person, his movie Alien Abduction Answers is world class. It's a great documentary on abductions, and not just abductions, but like alien contact in general. You know what I mean? Because he kind of goes over the good and the bad in that, you'll get a mix of both, which I thought was really interesting. You don't see that a lot.
You'll get a mix of both. You'll get a mix of like, whoa. And then you'll get like that whole, wait a minute, I'm not alone. And then you'll discover that we are not alone out there, that there are people out there that have been through the same path we have. Too many people, there's too many of us out there that have been that road, that have had the same experience, but yet too many of us for people to call us liars, call us fakes. There's too many of us out there that have been that road that everybody thinks we're nuts, but yet there's too many of us out there that have walked that road, that have had our sanity questioned.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And this is like a
same subject. So many people talk about the same subject for it to be fake.
Yeah, and I believe we're in different times now. I believe this is a subject that people literally died over in the past. James Forrestal got thrown out of a window back in the 40s about what he knew. Dr. Carla Turner was murdered. I think John Mack was murdered. There's so many other people. I believe Rob Potter might have been murdered. I believe Renetta Jones might have been murdered. You
want to dive deeper in? I know this is a far cry from the field, but you've heard there's several circles that bring this man's name up that I'm about ready to bring in. Tesla. He was murdered for his technology, but he was murdered for something much deeper. Oh yeah, that I will get into more because, like I said, my energy is like, as they say, my bottle is full and I feel complete. But next time we do our show, I will get into the whole Tesla conspiracy. It's not conspiracy when it's all true things that Tesla had discovered. A secret lab was discovered up in Pennsylvania, matter of fact, and in Colorado. One that he built in Pennsylvania that has still been being looked for, and the one in Colorado is still being looked for. One in Colorado that wasn't his, he was led to it.
Wow.
Like I said, you barely scratched surface with me because I have a lot of knowledge in my head that I haven't put out there in the open in a long time. I used to have a show like yours called Conspiracy Investigations, It's of Truth, where I would put stuff in the open, and I got threatened several times, and I took my show down a few years ago. It's still out there, just it's not run by me, it's run by somebody else that ran it into the ground. So I don't get much into the conspiracies because with me being a life coach and me having Grimm's X-Files, I still need to continue believing there's times I have to separate the two. Coaching here, Grimm's over here and kind of in the light but in the dark at the same time. I'm not your typical life coach. Oh, God, my head. But look forward to seeing you Sunday, definitely.
Yeah, you too, man.
I will touch base with you here in about 10 minutes if you're still up.
Yeah, I'm probably going to crash because I smoked weed, so I'm real tired. But you message me anyway. I'll get back to you as soon as
Okay, no problem.
All right.
If you have to get back to me tomorrow, no big deal.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm going to go eat something and go to bed here shortly too. Because I want to be up in the morning. I don't want to sleep half the day like I did today. I want to be up in the morning so I can get some stuff done.
I hear you, man. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight, and thank you everybody watching on Rumble. Thank you everybody watching on YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow.